Hello everybody, welcome back to Kerbal Space Program, the Uncharted Frontier, and in today's episode, we will be continuing where we left off in July 17th, 1956, where we thought, well, we made it to orbit, let's build a plane now, and the plane didn't go too well, so, yeah, let's start with our upgrades. So we have not available right now, which is fine, but research and development will be incredibly useful. I don't think there's much we can research besides solar panels, and we'll take solar panels. And we will take improved cryogenics. So now, we should have a better idea of what's going on in the world around us and be able to get another satellite into orbit, which will be today's episode's goal. Definitely gonna try pushing out toward the moon sooner than later. We do want a spacecraft to reach the moon by 61 the latest, so we gotta get something ready if we're gonna try to meet that deadline. So first up, scroll down to Vanguard 1. Oh, Vanguard 1 worked very well, so we're just gonna replicate whatever made Vanguard 1 so successful and try a new kind of spacecraft. I'm thinking a probe core. We could have any stuff built onto it, but you know, we don't want to mess things up. Actually, I think we'll go pre-built just one more time here. I could see us getting a comm satellite like this into orbit. Primitives and stabilizers of the communications, entering with 2 arrays of horn antennas. Psycom. A small supply of motor propellant. Ooh, interesting. Doesn't say if it has any experiments on it. Interesting. Basic SAS. Well, it has telemetry. What do you come with? Yep, the ball satellite wins. Vanguard 2 will just be orbit. So, this is the Vanguard spacecraft. As you can see it here, show graded. Yep. Now we're just going to auto-strut it, save it, and get it out to launch in 58 days, 9 hours, and a few minutes. Shouldn't be all too long of a mission, that is for sure. It is just going to be a simple launch in orbit. We are going to try to put this satellite in a slightly different arc than we put the other one, just to try to maximize our coverage of the planet here, if that's the correct wording for that. Something along those lines. So now that we're back here at Karoo, we don't have much to buy right now, so we have nothing better to do than to just work to completion. Alright, it is now October 56, and it will take... Yeah, let's make a day for this launch. We're just gonna do a quick and easy Vanguard 2 into a low Earth orbit. Shouldn't be too bad of a mission. It's just a simple communications satellite. If anything, it will be an incredibly easy spacecraft to put into orbit. It's slightly lighter than Vanguard 1, making it a bit more performance boosting. I did actually end up finding that solid rocket waterfall model. It's called Avalanche. I don't know if it works, but I downloaded it, so we'll see now. And it works beautifully. Okay, much better than what we originally had to deal with here. So we get off the ground nice and Nice and firmly. Alright. Okay, starting pushover. And let's turn for a slightly higher orbital inclination this time around. Be like a really high orbital inclination. Not bad. But I wish it was worse. Oh, are our solids out of fuel yet? No, they're not. Now they are. And now, we successfully burn to a higher orbital field. Okay, we're gonna get around to there. Separate from the mainframe. We're really gonna need to get everything under control for this mission. Because, let me tell you one thing, the agency is not having any more failures, at least. In its next few years in existence, we don't hope to have another embarrassing defeat like the early program had. So now, everything is focused on getting into orbit. I think we've gotten down to a science, well, literally, but yeah, no, I think we've got orbit down pretty well now. Getting into orbit has always been not as difficult once you actually have the tech to do it. So to circularize and get to 165 by 176, sorry. Separate the spacecraft and burn the mainframe back toward Kerbin. I mean Earth in this case, not Kerbin. But that should be re-entering, and we now have a functional spacecraft. We'll just test some communication relays and transmit the data back down to the surface. Data complete. Now we're just gonna wait till we're over another object or area. Test comms. Ooh, we get more money for that. Start uploading it. Now let's try it over another area, like this continent. Much better. So there we go. Now we're all set to go back to the Space Center and collect our rewards from that mission. Oh, what an interesting experience going to orbit is. But we will for sure continue our orbital endeavors, especially trying to push out of a low Earth orbit. That is our next goal, reconditioning of the launch pad. And now we have 101 scientists, the most we've made in a long time. So, what do we get with it? Well, I say we get some parts for, I say we could do, not jet engines, but I say we could do, and mature tankage for sure. We could do some more efficient Carolox engines, and with the 31 we have remaining, we can get into interchangeable parts, and with the 19 we have left, we can unlock batteries for our spacecrafts. We're trucking along through the tech tree this time around, so it'll be interesting to see where we end up. These are starting to get decently expensive, I see. Level 6, so we'll just increase our VAB rate again. Definitely, actually, I'm just going to slightly increase the next rate available too. We have good research and development. Well, he's still 170, alright, that's not terrible. So as we get through April of 1957, we start to realize that we will need a much more efficient way very, very, very soon to get these kind of technologies unlocked per se. They do take a lot longer than anything we've done up to date with any form of rocketry, so they're definitely, let's just say they're definitely up there. 3 days, and mature Carolux engine's done. So now we got nothing left to work with, and 0 points available in 7.1 science. So I say it's back to the vehicle assembly building to try to get as much science as we physically can. It's another orbital-based mission, I'm sure. Definitely gonna start looking at going interplanetary, though. We're definitely gonna start unlocking the ability to get to higher, much higher areas of space. So I say, with the exception of Vanguard 2, we will try to make a new launch vehicle for our pleasure. So it will use the best technology that we have to offer of its payload bay. That will be, what do you know, we have a 2.5 meter fairing base. It's a base though, isn't it? Yep, so it doesn't do much, but we do have this, a non-modular fairing piece that is not very, I don't want to say not functional, but it's not the best, let's just say that much. 1.5 meters would be a sustainable amount to start construction at. So we'll just use the 1.5 meter piece, and we will start creation of our first Titan-like vehicle, I want to call them, because, well, that's what they are. They are the Titan vehicles, so we'll fill them with the fueling they need, and this will be our first staged vehicle, so I'm pretty excited to see how it goes in that series of events. But the LR, what is this? The LR91, yeah, it's gonna be good sustainable engine for our endeavors further out into the system. It's definitely one of the, what's the word, more, well, I don't want to say less mature engines of the category we're in, but it's definitely not the most, so less mature engine, I guess, is what it gets. We do have a 1.5 fuel tank for that. We have the length to have that kind of tankage as well, so we'll just add on to its elongatedness per se, and finally put some of our better engines to use, like the H1 is definitely a great engine we should start using, for a multitude of reasons. But is this not a decoupler? Yes, it is. Okay, well, it's definitely up there for a good engine, so we will, if we have access to engine skirts, which I think we do. Well, we have the Atlas ones, but I don't think we have any of the default ones, which is quite unfortunate. Maybe they're in structural, oh, that's weird. Well, it's an adapter piece, so no. But I'm sure we can work something out with the vehicle and its abilities. Oh, an E1. That's an efficient, really efficient engine, actually. Well, I say we just make it best of our ability, and the E1's stability is definitely not one to be messed with. So we will start construction on this orbital vehicle. I say we just add some side SRBs, which we'll use, oh, I don't know, maybe these guys. They're very good for what they do, so I say they work just fine for our purpose. Oh, and they don't weigh as much as the spacecraft, so we won't have to deal with that either. We will have a thrust weight ratio of 2 to 21. Good, and good. Now, we just need something to launch in this thing, and I say the perfect thing we could launch is just a Juno guidance unit. Just, nothing major. Actually, no, a Jupiter guidance unit just to test our, understanding of how everything functions. So, we won't even include the fairing on today's launch. We'll just include the Jupiter guidance unit and, a more advanced, per se. Beyond that, we will include a nose cone of this vehicle to, what's the word? Encourage further aeronautical developments. Yeah, that's the... Well, the thing needs to be aerodynamic, and I don't know if I have something that fits this, so payload bays, yes, okay. There we go, so the... let's call it the L1. The L1 LV. A new LV for 1958. That is when this thing should be done. So we have that. Actually, no, we're going to put a decal on it because we haven't done that in a while, and it's starting to invigorate me. So we're going to have decals on this, and it's going to say KSP because that's what our decals should usually say. I forgot to last time, but I'll link the mod pack today, just so if anyone wants to try it, they can. Let's put these further down on the spacecraft. No, higher up fits it better. Oh, what the? Okay, and then we will put a flag of our agency right here. Actually, no, let's put it on the actual top of the spacecraft. Right up here. There we go. And then we'll hit launch, add to the build list, and we will see this constructed vehicle. And after this launch, I say we call it quits for today's episode. I feel it's going to get decently lengthy, so we might want to call it before it gets too long. We should finish off this episode right around 1958, so I say our experimental development into new fields is going well. Sorry, we did ditch the plane idea from last time. We're not dealing with that, so. Okay, rollout success, and today is a new day, so we'll, please turn day, thank you. So we're just gonna, we do get science from completing vehicles, thank God, so we're just gonna improve our understanding, per se, of some parts of the aeronautical field, so roll out. We should probably just finish this mature hyperbolic research, so it's not in my way when I come back tomorrow, or the next day, or whenever. But it is now March of 1958. Well, about to be April. Probably by the time this thing returns to Earth, it will be April, but that is not a concern for the agency. By quote-unquote return, we mean burning up in Earth's atmosphere, because the spacecraft is not one for returning. So, as we get out onto the launch pad, which should be just about now. Yeah, I can hear the audio cutting in, so yeah, soon enough. We're gonna start to experiment with more crazy designs. And I don't think this vehicle is actually inspired off of anything. It's using Saturn I engines, it's using Titan engines, it's using a lot of things that haven't been tested, so it'll be a great show of what our agency can accomplish. Right off the bat, we have some stability issues, per se. Is there? Okay, no, our thrust away ratio is fine, so it's not that, but we're definitely hauling it pretty fast into Earth's upper atmosphere. With a good amount of delta V on this spacecraft, it'll definitely be able to reach its goal and destination. See, here's the only problem with it. It doesn't have control of its roll. which is accountable for, but invigorating nonetheless. So as we raise our altitude, we will escape the atmospheric boundaries of Earth and then separate. Let's move that into a new rating. We might need that way up here. Yeah. That's, and just like that, we have to separate. Separation. Okay, now we're reaching new higher altitudes, and we still have 4,000 meters of delta V to reach into orbit with. So, I'd say this vehicle is pretty successful. I mean, it is hauling a thrust-to-weight ratio of 2, so can't complain about it there. This thing's landing site is gonna be somewhere in the middle of nowhere. Can already tell. Crash site more about, but no biggie. No one pays attention to that. So, escaping the atmosphere, we reach a new height above the Earth, and with it comes a new endeavor. So, sorry, mic issues, but yeah, we definitely will have more considerate amounts of vehicle in the next episode. And as we re-enter over Earth, we say thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next episode.